All right, we are still factoring quadratics. In these examples, there will be a leading coefficient other than 1. So here we have a leading coefficient of 7, right? When we say something's a leading coefficient, it is the number in front of the variable with the highest exponent. The leading coefficient is the number in front of the variable with the highest exponent. All right, now in order to do this, there's a technique called the Lizzie method. There are several other methods. If you know other methods, that you're welcome to use those. This is the most common method where students are most successful. So we're using that technique. So here, to start off, what we're going to do is multiply the leading coefficient and the final constant. So we're going to do 7 times negative 8. So we're doing 7 times negative 8, giving us negative 56. Okay. And then what we're going to do is ask ourselves, what are the factors of negative 56 that combine to make 1? So we want the factors of negative 56 to combine to make 1. So it's pretty straightforward. 8 times negative 7 is negative 56, and 8 plus negative 7 is 1. So that one's pretty easy. So and this is how you're going to set it up. So this is the weird part. There's the weird part to Lizzie method, okay? So you're going to say A plus 8. And notice how weirdly I'm writing the 8. Okay, and I'll show you why in a minute. And the other one is A minus 7. And what you're going to do is divide by the leading coefficient. So you're going to divide by 7. And you must simplify if you can. So here, 8 over 7 cannot be simplified. And what you're going to do with that is you're going to just move that denominator forward. When you can simplify, you simplify. This is the answer. Just to double check, I'm going to multiply this out to show you that this is the answer. 7a times a is 7a squared. 7a times negative 1 is negative 7a. 8 times a is 8a. 8 times minus 1 is minus 8. So 7a squared plus a minus 8. So this was the original problem. So this is the factored form. These 2 steps is just me confirming that that's the answer. Okay, you don't have to do this part. Unless you just want to check your answer. All right. And that is example 1. Let's go on to the next example. All right. So first you want to check to see if a number will go into any of the 3 numbers here. Right? All the 3 numbers. 5 is not divisible into any of these. So we're going to just do that. So now you're going to just take the first number, multiply with the last number. That'll give you 45. Now, this one is not as easy as the last one. So when it's kind of tough and you just get lost, if you don't see it from the beginning, like some of you might say, oh, I know what the answer is. Well, for those of us who don't have the number sense, just go through the process. 1 times 45 is 45. Then you say, does 2 go into 45? No, it's not an even number, so 2 doesn't go into it. Does 3 go into 45? Yeah. 3 goes into 45 15 times. And then you can see, so the first one was 1 plus 45 gives me 46. What I need is an 18. 3 times 15 is 45, but then 3 plus 15 is 18. So there's our answer. So you're going to write x plus 3 over the leading coefficient and x plus 15 over the leading coefficient. Simplify. And if it doesn't simplify, bring the denominator forward. So it's 5x plus 3. 15 over 5 simplifies to 3. And that's the answer. Next example. 9n squared is 21n minus 8. Check to see if anything goes in there. 9 doesn't go in there. Well, check. Well, 3 goes into 9. Does 3 go into 21? Yes, but it doesn't go into 8. So that's it. So we're going to do 9 times negative 8, which is negative 72. And so this is negative. So it could be negative 1 times positive 72 or positive 1 times negative 72. I'm not going to write all combinations like that, but just keep in mind one of them has to be negative to get a negative product. Okay, the way you're going to decide is how do we get this positive 21? All right, so how about 2 times 36? Okay, 36 minus 2 is 34. Close. Let's try negative 3. How many times 3 goes in there? I don't remember. 3 goes into 72 twice, 6, 12, 4, 24. And there we go. Negative 3 times 24 is negative 72. Negative 3 plus 24 is 21. So there is our choices. Okay. So I got lucky. All right. So we're going to say n minus, because it's a negative, 3 over the leading coefficient of 9, and n, neighbor's dog, 24 over the leading coefficient of 9. I'm going to rewrite that so you can read it. N minus 3 ninths, n plus 24 ninths. All right, now make sure you reduce. So the 3 ninths becomes 1/3, and 24 ninths becomes 8/3. Okay. Once you reduce it, now what you're going to do is rewrite it, not as fraction. We're going to get rid of the fraction by moving the denominator forward. So it's 3n minus 1 and 3n plus 8. Okay, that's it. So this is our final answer. If I want to double check, I'm going to kind of double check. So 3n times 3n, that's 9n squared, so that fits. And negative 1 times 8 is negative 8, so that fits, negative 8. Okay, so that's it. That's the answer. Next example. (9x squared minus 40x plus 16). All right. So does 3 or 9 go into all of these? No, 9 doesn't go into 40 or 16. 3 doesn't go into 40 or 16. Okay, so multiply. 9 times 16 is 144. 1 times 144? No. 2 times 72? No. Right. I'm trying to get a 40 out of it. 3 times, what's 144 divided by 3? 48? Is that 48? 144 divided by 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 24, 8, 48. That's close. 3 and 48 is 51. Okay, it's not that close. Try 4. 4 going to 144. 3, 12, 24, 6. Okay, so that's 36. And look at that. 4 plus 36 is 40. So that's it. But I need negative, right? Well, in order to get a positive 144, they have to have the same sign. So it's negative 4 times negative 36. And negative 4 plus negative 36 is negative 40. So there's our answer. All right. So we're going to say it's x minus 4 over the leading coefficient and x minus 36 over the leading coefficient. All right. Here, the 4 nines cannot be reduced, so move the 9 forward. Here, it can be reduced, and it becomes, what, 4? And there's our answer. If you want to double check, negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. 9 times 1 is 9, so that's okay. All right, there's our final answer there. Okay, well, this Does 9 go into 60? No. Does 3 go into 60? Yes. So here's what we're going to do with this one. So this one has a GCF, and you always want to take out the GCF. There's a weird thing about this technique that if you don't take out the GCF disappears, and you're going to lose points for not having the GCF as part of your answer. All right, so there's a common factor of 3. So I'm going to take a 3 out. 9 divided by 3 is 3, so it's 3a squared. 60 divided by 3 is 20. And 36 divided by 3 is 12. All right, okay. So now, when I take the front number, I'm talking about this front number. This is the 3, right? That's the leading coefficient. Not the 9, not this 3, but this 3. This 3 is the leading coefficient. We're going to multiply 3 times 12, make 36. What are the factors 36 to combine to make negative 20? Well, to get a negative number, I'm going to have both of them to be negative. So it's a negative 1 times negative 36. Well, that's too far from negative 20. Negative 2 times negative 18. Well, there you go. Negative 2 times negative 18 is positive 36. Negative 2 plus negative 18 is negative 20. All right, so we're going to say it's a minus 2 over the leading coefficient, a minus 18 over the leading coefficient. So that's going to be, so I'm going to bring the 3 forward, so it's 3a minus 2, a minus 6. All right, here's the bad news. That's not the answer, right? This alone is not the answer. Don't forget that leading coefficient, oh, not the leading, but the GCF that we took out. Make that part of the answer, and this is the answer. This is the answer. That GCF that we took up has to be part of your final answer, all right? So there's our answer. That's it. And the last example. Okay. Ugh. So these are all even. So there's at least a 2 in common. So I'm going to take a 2 out. Let's take a 2 out. So that 18 divided by 2 is 9. 124 divided by 2 is 62. And 14 divided by 2 is 7. All right. And then I check to see if anything else goes in there. That 7 kind of prevents anything else, right? 7 doesn't go into 9. So that's it. And 7's a prime number. Again, we're looking at the leading coefficient of 9, not 18, and not 2. We're looking at the leading coefficient of 9. Multiply with that with negative 7. So 9 times negative 7 is negative 63. And then what do we got here? Oh, look, we want a negative 62. We can just use positive 1 times negative 63 gives us negative 63. 1 plus negative 63 gives us negative 62. And this is the most common in this one. Because, how do you get negative 63? Well, just use the 1. All right. So that's going to be 1. So it's n plus 1 over the leading coefficient times n minus 63 over the leading coefficient. So that becomes 9n plus 1. N minus, reduce that, that's a 7. And then don't forget the GCF we took out, so 2. And that's our final answer. Okay, that's it. Good luck.